At the beginning of the story, we have a masterpiece of the name Moorish. Seeing the thief. Police arrested in bank robbery case. The most secure prison in the world. To be imprisoned in Alcatraz. It is a prison that is a prison. Built on a small island in the middle of the sea. If there is a prisoner, even if he breaks out of prison, he cannot escape. And then the waters ahead. This prison is the most secure prison in the world. There were only the top criminals in the world. But soon the prison was in the ground. Because the prison was named after Frank Morris, a thief who has been jailed several times before. This time he was a little nervous. This prison is too much. He was safe except for his whole life. Not telling at all. He wanted to get out of jail soon. Morris in prison. I thought about running away by checking Morris from head to toe. Lock him in a cell. A guard comes in. He says, "Welcome to electricity," and from there. The real story begins, then suddenly a bull rings in all the cell gates. The officers open the prisoners. The discipline of this prison is also very severe. Clean the prisoners and their time. You have to follow the rules of going to the cell. Wear the same uniform. Breakfast food in line comes in front of Morris lattes. The name is a prisoner. Morris asks, "I don't have a thorn in my noodles now. How to eat it?" He says, "This is not your home," and then eat it. A dangerous prisoner named Wolf. Every prisoner in Wolf's prison. Then he went to each of the prisoners. And on it, a lot of cars. The prison is more dangerous than one. The prisoners are here. Ask for a little food from Morris and then Morris. He gives him his plate when Morris looks down at the table. So he knows that litmus, they didn't eat themselves but rats. A guard at night. Morris is taken to the warden when he arrives at the warden's office, the warden tells Morris that, "I know you're very sharp-minded and you're smart, but what's your job here?" How many came and went? There is no child here. Prisoner, very strict rules follow. You can only see them once in 2 months. And if my mood is good, the warden is a very tough man, even with a little error. The prisoners are very strict. He says, "Don't think about running away from here. Then they shall be broken into pieces." The answer is no, head. Who can think of running away from here? Actually, from the first day, planning to get out of here in my mind. It started during this time. When Morris saw the opportunity, the warden's necklace lay. It was a very small thing. Morris knew it was like Electra, the little one in jail. It can also be a great job. Morris comes back to the cell this nil. Hardcore hides in the Bible the next day. Wolf again in the bathroom. Disturb Morris. I guess this time Morris, he wasn't going to leave now. Morris shows his true form and catches him. Then he washed the wolf. Morris in jail. Everyone was afraid of Morris. He worked in the library. Then he met a man with an English name. He is the chief prisoner of the prison. Then he killed 2 men. Life imprisonment. Then he went to his prison. He lived his life in prison. He knows the secret, everything about the prison. He knew that this morning. Morris and Wolf were fighting. The books were written by everyone. Then the cell is opened to the next cell, showing where the prisoner, no game. They play, then they play. The name comes from an artist who creates his own paintings. Doc One Tail Straight. He is a man who has been punished for many years, cutting it. I loved painting and spent most of my time. He says in the painting, anybody in a prison like Alcatraz can be crazy. Then, because of his painting, his brain is still running smoothly. Morris, Doc, he asks that. Why is this flower in your painting? Nothing in the shirt. Dog says it's just my pleasure. In the painting is not in my mind then, Morris, he looks to the right and then looks to the left. Morris goes to the English side when Morris goes near him. Stop her chillin', Morris. Then the Englishman said, come. Morris went to him and sat down. Then he said to him, Morris, you are here to escape. They will help you to hear English. Look at that, son. It's not just the prison, it's the grave of all of us. We are going to die first. Then go to my dad. The body will come from here to the grave. Believe that you are great. Climb the walls. Then they went, and then the dangerous forces crossed. Then you will be saved from the magic. Get out of jail. Then you will not be able to escape from here, for your path is ahead. The sea will stop, so don't waste time. And punish the child with the least amount of punishment. They will stay, but Moriarty has fulfilled his purpose. He wanted to escape from the prison that night. Morris tells you. The carpentry work from yesterday is given an hour's 50 cents. The mountain will be given to Morris immediately. He agreed to do this because he thought he was there. He can find tools that can help him escape. The next day, Morris asks Litmus how to escape from here, Litmus. He says, this is easy. An air vent in the cell. You can get to the roof, perhaps from there. Paw and Morris smiled at the words and then left the dock. And he warns you that the wolf is coming to you. Wolf comes to stab Morris with a knife. Morris takes his coat, hand in hand. He fights with a guard. Stop it, Wolf. And then the knife is thrown at him. And the watchtower guard starts shooting and then goes to Morris and Wolf. They stop fighting. Morris didn't even know there was one on the watchtower. The guard is now aware of everything in this prison. It begins to... Morris and Wolf are taken to the guards' block where they spend the night. The prisoners are tortured in the dark. There was a cell where no prisoner wanted to go. Wolf threatens Morris' son. You will die in my hands this night. Some kinds of tormentors fall, which is enough for him. It will be dark for 2 weeks. After being in the cell, take him back to his cell where Litmus pets him. Then he writes a letter to Morse. Welcome back, Morris. One day comes a new prisoner named Charlie. By Morris. It is kept in the cell. Morris and Charlie quickly, and then he became a friend to his friends. And then everybody will tell him about it. Checks the prisoner's cell when he goes to the dog's cell. So many of them were created in the cell of dog. The paintings are the warden is surprised that day by day his paintings are growing. Then he saw the paintings of the warden. The warden smiles but doesn't know why the warden the next day. Everything was created in the cell. Throw out the paintings, orders the guards. This decision of the warden broke the doc completely inside because Doc just took his paintings. He created every one of them. I loved painting. Because there was only one joy, and he was taken away from him. He says he is not alone. Then you were created. Maybe, but dog, I didn't see him the next day. The guard says please watch the dog. They are very worried. He didn't want to hurt himself, but he did. He says do your work. The dog is also given the job of carpenter with Morris. The dog hid something in Morris's pocket. Then he calls a guard. Given to carpenter, he cuts off his 3 fingers from the axe. He says, I can't paint with my fingers. I don't need them. He says, then the guards catch him. Morris sees that. He puts the flowers in his coat. Maybe he wants to tell Morris. They have taken away my joy. Morris dog lifts the cut fingers and puts them in a box. And the guard says, go your way. Give it to the warden and he will be happy to see it the next day. He sits in the cell and then he sees a cockroach. He goes inside the air vent, which he understands. There is no way out. So much for the English. Doc cut his fingers for it, because he was denied permission to paint. He cut off his fingers knowing that. Morris gets very angry the next day, warden in the dining hall. Morris asks you this dog. Why are you saying nothing? Morris back. He sat down at the table and met his 2 brothers. June and Clarence, and Morris speaks to them. As they knew before June and Clarence. Both of them in another prison. They were in the gang. It was easy to get out of jail, because these 2 brothers are sharp like Morris. The 3 of them are now planning to escape from prison. Afternoon, Charlie's girlfriend comes to meet him on the other side. English daughter. Then he saw his daughter. There are tears in his eyes. His daughter is not. Pretty big in presence. It was done and... Don't be angry with your daughter. It was so sad to see the other side. Charlie tells his wife that the mother is very sick and the doctor says, no more than a couple of months. You will hear it now, Charlie. Thinking of running away from Alcatraz, he says, and the guard says, speaking of... It's over. Charlie is very upset tonight, he says to Morris. If you plan to leave. So I'm going to join Morris, Charlie, June, and Clarence meets then. Morris tells them that the air vent of the cell opens on the top roof, and the other thing is that this place is filled with salt water. Between the walls of the sea, I have a nipple cutter. And I am God. If I started a little bit earlier, and I will make a small tunnel to the roof, and then I will reach this place. Testing. You'll know how to get out of here. June asks if the guards found out at night that not in the cell. They will have no doubt about it. He says, I have the solution. Here is mine. The one who cuts the hair of the prisoners is the one who cuts the hair of the prisoners. You can supply in it. We're a dummy. Make the head and hang it on the bed. Then if we come out of the wall. They will be on the roof and the guards will have no doubt, because our heads will be sitting on the bed of our cells, and they were going to get out of jail. How to cross the sea, Morris? See what June says. I need your help in this. You will be working in the closing department there. They were made for police officers. Then you will find some rubber. Give it to me. We have a tube. Boredom and life. You can make jackets and cross the sea here, says Charlie. Brother, I want to help you too. Morris tells Charlie when I'm on the ventilation grill. Then you will be able to clean them. Do not let anyone watch us, and when you lose, I will watch over you. I'll tell you that everyone likes Morris. And they started working that night, but the wall, Nile cutter for digging. It was very small, and it was very difficult for him to walk. And the wall, it was very difficult to dig. There was a small part in his hand, but they made it. Digging the hole. The next day they will be at the dinner table with their friends. He said, I am a great god. Tools needed. It's getting very difficult to scratch the wall from the Nile cutter. Then Morris, the spoon in his hand, seeing an idea in his mind. Did he know that he was going to pull the spoon on his shoes? And then he gets dirty. Morris called the guard and said it was a spoon. The other two men also guarded me. Then they changed their tables. The guard didn't make a fuss about it, and he did. Allowed the spoon to turn, then turn it straight to the table. Grow where another security guard. Sitting on the seat. As soon as he turns the tables, June was there. The guards were confused by the words of the Lord. 2 tablespoons instead of 1. He took it and hid it in his pocket. He goes straight to his cell. English at night. When the book comes, Morris asks what's here. Welding will find no equipment. English understands that. And then there's the prisoner's head. He says, I have told you before. You will be caught because you will be caught. And perhaps his life. I never thought of running away in years. Because I know it's impossible, but you're stubborn. What can I do but... Morris to her, the warning doesn't matter. Then the next day they ask for it. He said, if you help me. So I will give your rat my portion of food every day. It's fun because it's a rat. I loved it that night. And then he turned his back on Morris. Neil pulls out a handle of the cutter from which he pulls a small, and then he makes it, and then he makes it. Break the nail and attach it to the handle of the cutter, then matches. Good for both, a tool for welding like this. And then he went to the 4th and the 4th. Start with Charlie. If a guard comes to him, he will. The whistle blow would signal to Morris on the shoulder. Charlie's eyes are closed. And then there comes a guard, fortunately. Then the English came in and took notice. And the other side of the English language. When he heard the scream, Charlie's eyes opened, but he was tense. He didn't kill the whistle after that. And if anything falls, then Morris understands his sign. Cover the vent and lie on the bed. The guard asks if there is a burning male coming here, Morris. He says, your head is yours. No one is going to smoke, but I'm not going to smoke. Then he said to me, whoever is in charge of me is in charge of me. Then he went to Morris. 4 of the vent, and the concrete was removed. He sees the ventilation. Patches with the lattice. Then they went to the place where they had no knowledge. Then there will be Morris. Whenever you have the opportunity to go out. And then the seeds that came out of the grill. The next day, the carpenter works. He picks up a metal that's sharp like a knife, but Charlie, he tells her to escape the metal detector and get her out. How do you get Morris? Very confidently says he will see everyone when Morris. Metal on the door when you go out. The detector seems to ring actually Morris. Hold the metal in your hand. Then he asked, why are you doing this? He said, I thought I was dressed. I will use it to leg the guard, says more. Don't be careful and give it to me. He says he takes the metal away from it. Let Morris go full check, but his hero... In fact, he was holding 2 metals in one hand, and the second one was hidden. The sharp metal he cuts, the girl now turns. For the guards. 4 of them are the ones who make them. Working with Charlie. A little paint from the guard, he tells the guard. The art of creating is not denied by the guard, and the painting will bring it to Morris. Then it will be removed from the ground. Barber brings hair together from the shop, and Clarence, old from the library. Books are collected after all the goods are collected. A dummy using Mars water and old magazine. The head is made of paint and hair. A real-world simulator. Head prepared together. Mars made his plans stronger. And then there is no doubt about it. Someone built a tunnel in the wall one night. Morris decided to go alone, which he created for himself. Put your head on the bed and put it on. And then he went to the house, and then he went there. Out of the tunnel comes Morris. Hold the pipes. Shallow Top climbs on the roof the other side. Charlie out. Then when the roof is opened, he sees it. There is an iron grill on top of it. Not to be confused with a guard. Charlie asks so much. Why are you painting late at night and your friend? Why did Morris fall asleep so soon today? Charlie says G had Morris today. The carpenter was tired of working, so he was there quickly. He fell asleep suddenly. Then the hand of the guard falls down and lifts it. He sees that Morris. The hair is very strange now, Charlie. The fear of the dead is that today they are gone. The guard put his hands inside Morris's cell and touched his hair. Morris asks what happened to my hair so beautiful, and then he went downstairs the next day. Morris tells his colleagues that there is a way on the roof, but he was tied to a girl in there. Girl is very high, I need another partner help. Then he said, I've completely lost my weight. I got there tonight. The two of them will be together that night. Morris and June reach the roof through their vents, June. Morris and Morris. The girl caught June seeing that. The iron grill is very strong, and completely. There is only one way to get it out, and that is it. Cutting from drill machine, the next day in music class. Then they make their own tools. Morris looked there, on a small wing, and the one who sees him is the one who sees him. He can make a drill machine for which he tells Charlie that so keep it out of here. Charlie makes it easy for the little one, when Charlie hides in his instrument box. Then the guards check his toolbox. They didn't see him and Charlie. Then, as the hands of the Lord, I think Morris starts working on it. And many hours. Later, Morris gets a drill machine ready from this fan that night. Morris and Charlie climb on the roof of this iron. Drill down the road. The sound of the drill machine was quite loud, which hears the sound of the drill and the guards come up. Until then, Morris. A road cuts off the grill and the sound of the drilling stops. Guard looks at him after the sound of the drill is off. Return with style. Then the four of them left. Then they went on the night of the night. The most secure prison in the world. They were running away from Electra, which no one has escaped to this day. The next day they will meet again. And in the movie hall, where everyone is watching, between the soundtrack of the movie, Morris asks June and Clarence, Are you ready and willing? What happened to coats, from which we tube boards? And they made life jackets, and they said they were all ready. Our dummy. One head, too. And then the child will come in the morning. Morris placed the flower on the table. When he saw this flower, he saw it. And then they brought the flowers to their table. Seeing this, they are very angry. This is because it was the dog's favorite flower and the dog was dead. Litmus attacked him in anger. You killed the dog, and on the other side, you will not leave a small sign. But as they are, attacking the warden. He suddenly had a heart attack and he fell down. The warden is very angry. Four of them decided to leave that night. Morris waited until midnight, so that the guards are weak. We will easily survive. Morris in the English cell if you bucks him. Then Morris. He says, I want you to understand. I got away from here. The plan is to get out of here. But then what happens is Morris. I didn't think at all. The warden suddenly comes to check his cell like, someone told him about his plan. Morris too nervous. After months of hard work, water on his work. It was a journey. The warden ordered every corner of Morris's cell to be checked. Guard. Morris checks everything in the cell, but Morris nothing common. There was no prisoner. He is a small one. He made a plan, but it was a clean one. It was a perfect plan, but a warden. Neither did his grandfather. It could have even been when the guard removed the suitcase from this particular place, where the Morrises are. The way to escape. He was not created, but he was not created, because he already made a simulated cardboard wall. I felt so bad when there was nothing there. The warden and the guard leave, but the guard tells... Morris and Charlie spent the night talking. I see something black in the pulse, the warden says, okay. Then you will be able to replace the two of them. They will not speak, nor will they speak. The next day, they will be on breakfast. And then he threatened and threatened. He says to you tonight, it will be the last night. Morris says to his colleagues that this donkey is saying goodbye. This will be my last night here. In the afternoon, Wolf. Mars with a knife. Then the English. He caught the wolf in the middle. English also wants to help Mars whether he succeeds or not. But the English want to help Mars work. As Ret Mars John, Paris and Charlie went out of their way to vent. I decided to go to the roof. Here's Charlie, running away with friends. Then as soon as he gets into the cell begins to panic. I decided not to join the plan. And the other three of them, Get out of the way. The three of them waited long enough for Charlie. They do, however, after a long time. I guess Charlie won't be there. Charlie decides to leave the three. Go ahead according to your plan, but in front of Charlie's eyes, the three of them were free. Then they ran away from the lights. Then they go to the end of the building. Sitting in the cell, Josh in Charlie's heart. He comes and he intends to run away. Get out of the way. It was too late, but it was too late. He was not alone in reaching the upper door. Then he gave up his fear of the other side. Hanging from pipe on 3 roofs, they come down to the ground and sit in the tower, avoiding the eyes of the security guard. They go to the last wall of the prison and then they turn 3. Climb the wall of the fence. All 3 are out of jail. Then they came to the sea, and then they came to the sea. Put it out of your mouth. The wind blows into their mouths. It took a long time, but they have nothing else. There was no way, therefore. 3 of them, like their whole selves. Finally, the 2 board made of raincoat. And put the board in the water. These are the 3. Electricity is mixed with soil and runs next. Every guard in the morning checking the cell. In the beginning, everything seems normal. But when they come to Charlie, it is like a ghost in a cell and the heart is in itself. I wish I had a little courage tomorrow night. If he lied, he might have lied to others. The guard asks your friend, why is he sleeping so long? He says he's going to go to Morse. There is no answer from Morris. The guard is angry and he opens the cell. He tried to grab the hair, but when the guard pulls him up, then the head falls down. Then he saw the earth and then he saw it. Not inside, but outside. The world is enjoying itself in bed. Dummy head left, after which the whole sirens in Alcatraz. Then the whole thing spread to the prison. Some prisoners, then they ran away. The warden seems to be looking for these 3 in the prison cell. When they do not meet in prison, warden a search operation at sea. He didn't believe that the 3 of them were dead. I think the 3. The water is dead, and the water is dead. 3 of them. The 3 of them were very strong, crossing the sea now. They will breathe, warden. Headquarters officer question. What did they do when they were 3? The warden is very tense, but then there is the warden's favorite flower. It was meant to be Mars Warden. He wanted to take revenge on the dog, then the head of the search team. He tells the head, they have been searched everywhere, but their bodies have not been found. Your job and your image. He said to save. Write the report as I say. Write that these 3 tried to escape. But those 3, they died in the water. Walton did not trust anyone after that. Morse Alcatraz prison breaks around the world. 1 year after his knee, he became known as Janus, because the prison was closed. Now there was no guarantee that no one could escape. This is the true story. This movie ends if the video is good for you. You are ours. Subscribe to the channel and like the video.